Hello, everybody. My name is Ivan, and I am the creator of the Team SAFF project. I am here with the creator of Fang Sanguis. Say
Hello.
hello. Yep.
Hello, I'm Nate. I'm Nathan Sanguis. I am the creator of the character in the story Fang Sanguis.
Okay, so first I'm gonna introduce to what the story is. The story of Team SAFF is takes place during the canon timeline of the Ruby universe, but the story was based off a D&D campaign which never really made it to its actual first uh, piece. All that was done was some introductions for only three characters of this story. And sadly, one of them is not in this photo right here, but the two people that were given a chapter based on a D&D game were the first character, Ivan Sachs, my character, and Sky Altair, a character made by Ghost, who is not here with us today because he is probably trying to he's either raising his kid right now or he's door dashing as a job. Anyway, moving on. So,
Yep, moving on.
yeah. So, to introduce the characters, I'm going to go down the list in the order that is seen here and give vivid description on the characters and some of their background without revealing too much about them because it might be better if it's read in the story or based on what I started this recording for is to get people's attention for anyone that loves the show Ruby and to let them know that I have been approached by someone who is currently right now working on the first three chapters of this story, which is based off of Ivan Sachs's chapter, Sky Altair, and Blue Falls. Fang was added at the fourth setup, but when I had this poster made, I did not clarify that, and I honestly just kind of let it go because, to be fair, Fang had more character development already made before Blue Falls was finished. All right, let's start with the ringleader or the team leader of this group. So, so Ivan Sachs, when I first scripted his design, he is a Faunus, which is a second. So in the world of Ruby, for those that don't know, is a type of second class citizen. They are humans that uh, are born with animal traits. So for instance, like Ivan, he has a tail because he is a bearded dragon Faunus. And his semblance allows him to absorb kinetic energy from attacks, and he can deal it back however he chooses. And he usually distributes them to his weapons, Quake and Aftershocks, his gauntlets, and he can deliver powerful punches, mix dust with them to create some special effects to it. So if you load ice dust, he can create ice spikes in the ground. Earth dust, he can basically shatter the ground in front of him or manipulate it in a certain way. And one of the key traits that would show when his semblance is active is when his eyes would start to glow. So the idea for that, I got that from Godzilla from the MonsterVerse, and actually came up with the idea of him absorbing the energy and throwing it back from a kaiju named Raijin from the Pacific Rim universe.
Oh, I just made a fucking joke, and no one heard it. You didn't hear it.
No, because you most likely have been muted.
Yeah, I said when you said you can catch fire and throw it back, my first response to this was Hadouken.
Oh, Jesus. You know, in fairness, most of the story, it so the first three parts I tried to include some small jokes. I gotta stop saying every time because I'm like losing my train of thought here.
Uh,
Shut up. Anyway, all right. So, based on some of the history regarding Ivan, he is about, believe he's like in his 30s. He's in his early or middle 30s. These are the. Okay, I am losing track of where I'm at with these pictures a little bit. I should have really scripted this to myself. Anyway,
We're at the weapons.
this is the design of Ivan's weapons, Quake and Aftershock. Now, I will disclose the blade here is not actually on the weapon at the very beginning of this story. I had this made like this, so I didn't have to come back and have that done at the same price that I had this project done at all. But only one of the arm cannon. Okay, there's only one arm cannon in his right arm. It's for his right arm. I just realized these are both right, but you know what? He has. I'm getting way too close with that. Ah. So normally he could load the dust cartridges into the back of the cannon. So it's like a similar to the arm cannon from Cyberpunk. I forgot what that was called.
I know
If
what you're talking about. I just can't remember the name of it.
see, we can't remember. It's been a while since I played that. So I modeled it originally from an old design. This was the first concept of Ivan Sachs. I
Using Hero Forge.
yes, we used Hero Forge to create our characters at the beginning, and Ivan was given a backpack in the beginning, but I have decided to redo this and make sure he doesn't have that because I feel like that makes him a little too bulky, and I'm not trying to make him look like this big, huge dude that's carrying so much crap, just so he would seem slow, because he is known to be a fast moving character when he's focused. All right. Here's the first example of his semblance when it's active, so like parts of his body and it would be glowing up to his eyes. And this whole picture here was the actual first concept art that was made. You see, I had the arm weapons modified around this point when I wanted to give him guns on both fists, but started to think that was a bit of overkill, so I had that changed to this design, which I recently had done earlier this year. No, last year. It was last year. And and if anyone else can spot this, yes, the symbol here is based off a YouTuber uh, called Goji Center, which I personally love the work they do, breaking down all of the monsters from the MonsterVerse and not just from the Godzilla stuff, but they are disclosing stuff like something from Jurassic World or I guess anything with a giant monster. And so I had it designed based off of this. I just wanted to add some spikes to it so it would show the bearded dragon state of him. Okay, that thankfully that was the last picture. Wait, what? Did I put that in twice?
You went back for your first picture.
Okay, hold on. Gonna let this play out. Did I put these in the wrong order? I was just trying to make sure I didn't add something twice.
You did.
I did. Okay, pardon that. My bad. Okay, on to the next character. Apologies for that. Okay, this is Sky Altair. Now, when my friend Ghost first told me about the character, he described how he had this made back in high school or junior high, and the first design we went with made him too angelic. So this right here is the design we finally went with,
Yeah,
and
after months of fighting on it.
a little, not exactly. We didn't fight too much on that. And Sky, as much as he would look like the kind of guy that's too quiet and very, you would think he's like Shun from the original Bakugan series, but he is not. He can actually be a very, he's very, he's got clever quips, and he can be a bit sarcastic, but he's also like he thinks more rationally than everyone else in the team. Now the symbol that was actually designed by Ghost with the wings and the weapons, so it's iconic to Sky himself. All right, next photo. Here is the original first concept. You see how his wings are different here from the original?
Yeah, yeah, they look more angelic.
This was too angelic because Remnant at most doesn't have anyone with those type of wings, and it kind of
That
gives.
we haven't seen yet.
Yes, we haven't really seen many Faunus with wings except for like one guy that had bat wings, and he was not seen again after he got slapped on the head with a dinner tray from Kali Belladonna. So I will always remember that. And aside from Bruce Wayne when he becomes a Faunus in the Justice League Ruby cameo, I mean crossover. Still,
Crossover.
yep, I meant crossover. All right, so almost went too far ahead. So I don't have a picture of the whole design for Sky's weapon, but I can describe it. So his weapon is called Stormfall. It's a triple changer that can go from a pair of psi, like two psis. The correct term is just saying psi, I guess. Anyway,
hmm
he so Sky can combine the two handles together. They connect and they can form a double-edged staff. So he can do a different type of combat style. I That was a fancy word. I was a fancy way of saying that. I just couldn't think of it. But also somehow the size also have the ability to transform into micro SMGs. I'm going with micro SMGs because of how small the size are, and it'd be kind of strange to see those transform like that. But then again, there's a character with a suitcase that turns into a minigun. So you know what? Ruby's all way out there with their weapons, and it's just great.
It's pretty funny.
All right, and Sky, his semblance is so I tried to just call it reflexes, similar to a character that is in the show itself, Maria Calavera. Supposedly, he can see things before they happen, but only in the time limit of maybe 5 to 10 seconds ahead.
Presight or Farsight or whatever it's called.
Oh, you know what? That kind of f Farsight?
Yeah.
I didn't want to call it foresight because foresight makes it sound too like seeing into the future too much. But no, something like farsight, that makes more sense in a way to call it. And to describe his faunus species, he is a kingfisher faunus, so that's why we had the wings modified to look more like the kingfisher wings.
Yeah, I just realized I think most of our team are all when we created these characters, most of the team were Faunuses.
Yes, most of the team are faunus. Next, we have Blue Falls. Now, this character was made by one of the members of the D&D group that pitched the idea of she pitched the original idea of the name, the backstory, and her I don't want to say the wrong thing here. That sounds too perverted.
Our
So,
one of our old friends.
well, no. I'm trying to
Oh,
describe Blue. Blue is gay. She's the actually one of the I think she's the only one of the she's not the only one. I f- I
out of our team, she's the only
yes,
gay.
out of
She's the
the
only LGBTQ character of
okay,
this team.
yeah, out of the whole team, she's the only one that
That's
is
why
a
it's for the other team.
yes. Anyway, her weapons are called uh Dragon's Claw or Dragon Claws. Wow, I am losing my memory of how this thing started. Anyway, so I can't really zoom in into this picture, but she is actually born with heterochromia eyes. So one of her eyes is blue, while the other one is silver. The
that is a
significance,
weird.
yeah, the
That is,
what?
oh, what I was gonna say that the the different eye color.
And hey, that worked for Neo.
Hey, yeah, the that is a rare genetic mutation a human can actually have in real life.
Yes, it's not a horrible thing though, dude.
It's not. It's just a uh rare occurrence that happens in humans. You can mostly find it in dogs than you do in humans.
Yeah, and so to describe Dragon's Claw, it is based off of the Chaos Blades. Yes, they are based off the Chaos Blades from God of War, but the blade here was changed so it doesn't look similar to the actual shape. And we put a dragon figurehead for the actual proper design for it. Now, the symbol, this was originally created by Ghost, but I had this modified with this piece of with this finalized concept art of her look from for volumes 1 to 3. And this there is a bit of a mystery on why the dragon form of the dragon symbol was changed. That would be shown further on in the story. Next photo. So the idea for Blue's father, it was just to have him born. He's the only one that has blue eyes on both. And so Blue grew up in the city of Mantle in the kingdom of Atlas. When she was, ever since she was little, after her mom left, bit of a copy of Ruby's story, but to some degree.
Mommy issues.
Sure, we'll call it mommy issues, but not in that sort of way. I mean, Ruby didn't exactly have mom issues. Right? Yang
She
was the
never
one.
even knew her mom. Her mom was
Shut up. And Yang was the only one with mom issues.
because her mom straight up was a bitch.
She was. When Blue started trying to become a huntress, she went to the Atlas Academy, which she discovered her semblance. Now, her semblance is unclear because she gains some abilities to manifest faunus traits on her body, which could grant her some extra pair of ears, a tail, or if she wanted, she could add another set of arms because she's basically forming an animal feature out of her body. So there might be some faunus that are like a part of the spiders. Like a spider, an arachnid faunus could have multiple limbs or spider limbs. You use your imagination on that one.
Yeah.
And when Blue discovered her semblance, she had to leave, and that's when she met her team. And if anyone does notice, yes, her teammates were modeled, they were based off of three members of the KDA group, the pop star crew. Eh.
Have you ever seen League? If you ever played League of Legends, they're based
Anyone that,
off a
yeah,
pop group.
yes, anyone that's played League of Legends, you would recognize Evelynn, Akali, and Ari. Now, their names are given some color features because of the color naming rule. So Evelynn Shade, Akali Shadow, and Ari Light. And this is the design that was made for when Blue first meets them and becomes their team leader. And to show off here, Blue made a bit of a connection closer to Evelynn in her team.
Oh, that's cute.
This was used for the final moment of her story chapter that would show the last moment she saw Evelynn before Evelynn, Ari, and Akali left to go help with Mistral. Here's the design of Akali, but disregard this section of her arm. This happens later in the story. I know that may be a spoiler for some people, but didn't exactly plan so far ahead to have her design made for when she was before she had this happen. I will not disclose how she loses it and wait until either the comic would come out or you can read it yourself after I've revised the story. Now, Akali's weapon is a pair of commas, which is basic this right here. Now, Akali, her semblance, it allows her to create she can manifest uh think of it as Weiss Schnee's glyphs, but without the glyph. Her semblance is called Artiste, which allows her to create anything that she can imagine or anything from her memories with surrounding colors. So, in combat, she would either she'd be using a spray can, spraying either the wall, the trees, or anything around her, or she can create paint grenades, which would go off and spread paint everywhere around her. And she can create anything that she can remember.
Damn.
Evelynn Shade. This is the official first design of her look. So for Akali and Evelynn, I did give them their own some original outfits for their characters. and the sim gave her a symbol tattoo on her belly. And after thinking some of this over, I might switch it up with her weapon design. So I might take away the tails here, excuse me, and give her something similar to a a blade that's attached to a very thin string. So it can actually be used to slice through enemies with precision instead of her constantly relying on a pair of tails to go leaping in front of her or be used to protect her rear.
It's a cool concept art, though.
Oh, yeah. I don't like how it's fuzzy. So, this character, for clarification, this character is named Ebony Hex, one of the antagonists of the story. And this is someone from Blue's past. This was Blue's
She's
this was Blue's original team leader when she was an Atlas. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, if you read this, her entire thing of being in this is just a bitch.
Fair point. Very fair point.
In my
Yes.
words, it's labeled bitch.
Yes. In any way you can interpret. Now, her weapon, I never really could give it a name exactly, but it is clearly two giant swords that also have gun barrels, so she can actually shoot out of them with triggers that are placed at the hilt. Her
You know what? It
semblance,
kind of
her semblance,
not
her
her
semblance,
semblance.
okay, her semblance was really never given a name, but she can form obsidian crystals, obsidian, but her name Ebony Hex. I don't know, it twists my mind around because I'm thinking of the Ebony Warrior from Skyrim for some reason, but it is black armor. So that's why I'm assuming it's like obsidian or something, but no. I also might not know something else about Skyrim to describe why it's called that. Anyway, so she can create anything with her semblance, forming obsidian spikes, a wall, or she can craft weapons from it. So if she ever lost her two weapons here, she could just summon an obsidian copy of them. They're not so strong, but they're strong enough to last her a few hits.
Mm.
Okay, now.
Yeah, this boy is the best boy.
Okay,
Let me tell you the story on this man and his origins of how I came up with him. I chose him to be a wolf style faunus.
which wolf species did you think of?
It was a timber wolf.
Timber
They were
wolf.
they were both timber wolves.
I thought you said it was a frost wolf, but I guess I misunderstood that.
They're the same breed. It's just Frostwolf is more
Oh.
Alaskan Outback. Excuse me.
God, I wish. Oh, I wonder if I have to
Excuse
edit.
me.
Am I gonna have to edit that out?
Nah, that's good. But yeah, no, I kind of made Fang to be like a Western cowboy kind of dude with his weapon. As you can see, his basic style is cowboy with his duster coat, his red shirt,
Basically,
his red hat.
a very obvious gunslinger huntsman.
Yep.
Now, his weapons, originally when we started this, it was called
Narcissus and Echo.
Narcissus and Echo. But upon realizing, yes, we were kind of plagiarizing someone else's work because it was based off a concept art of weapons that someone named Narcissist and Echo.
Yeah, but
So, upon the redesigning process for all these characters, I had his weapons redesigned and renamed. to justice and equality.
Yeah, fighting for the bonuses, justice and equality for everyone.
Now, there is a story to why these guns are named that. Justice was named in regards to Fang's first human friend, Sophia Canary. She was a huntress in training when he met her, and they became friends along with his brother, Claw Sanguise,
Mm-hmm.
and Bayoff Jade. A and oh, someone just got called. If anyone heard that.
It was just family tell me dinner's ready, but
Ah,
I can wait.
ah. Okay. Now for equality. It's almost hard to tell, but it has a red color with a black striped tiger pattern. Now this was based off of Fang's first love, a char-
Ah, yes.
a character that we've only saw once in the main show, only to see the character die within 5 minutes, maybe or less.
But we gave her a true story when we were in.
So we decided
I know. Go.
So we decided to give the character Sienna Khan a better send off than just being a character that was killed off for the story, which honestly didn't make sense to most of us. But we didn't. So in the story, we are not changing any of the events that happened in the canon. So yes, Sienna Khan still dies, and when Feng would find out, it would break him badly.
Yeah, and we also we kind of gave him a
That,
backstory with.
yeah, I was gonna say, don't spoil too much.
We kind of gave them an entire backstory and stuff.
Which I will say, some things will not be put into a comic. I will be very clear on that.
Ah, yes, this is the concept art for my weapons that turn into two short swords.
Yes, justice and equality are transformative weapons that can actually transform into short swords. Well, not exactly short swords, but if you're holding it through a gun, through the gun thing, it's like that's like holding a pair of ODM gear from Attack on Titan.
Yeah, they look cool though. I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
lie.
that's a bunch of crap mode. Here's the
Ah, here's the first concept
yes,
art of
this
them.
was the first design for Fang Sanguis. This and yes, these are the original designs to Narcissus
Narcissus and
and
then yeah.
Echo before they became Justice and Equality. Now, when we originally had the idea to have the weapons transform into swords, we were just going to have the handles fold back a bit, and the blade would shoot out. Which, of course, this one didn't get a blade because I didn't exactly tell the person to put that on there. That was my mistake.
One of my favorite photos though.
Here,
Ah,
why are these so
ah,
blurry?
I love that one. This one. It looks like a Snapchat filter, doesn't it? The faces look like a Snapchat filter.
Oh yeah. So this was the poster design I made for a solo origin story for Fang Sang Guys
Yep.
that would describe how a time when Fang and Claw were still brothers, and back when they met Sophia Canary and Bayoth Jade.
It's a really cool I kind of like the art style.
And
Oh, claw.
this is Claw Sanguise, Fang Sanguise's brother. Now his weapons never really given a name, but they're a pair of gauntlets that have sharpened claws, hence his namesake. And he has his fighting style would resemble Sabretooth from the X-Men.
Oh, we did.
Very,
We
very,
we.
very animalistic like movements, but he does also have a a hidden uh he has a section on his hand where he can fire dust out of his hands.
Yeah.
So
They also.
similar to Tony Stark's repulsors on with Iron Man.
Yeah. Let's go back a couple thoughts back to Fang. We forgot to talk about it. His semblance is pretty much like Yang's, but he can dish it out more. The more on fire he is, the more damage he can deal to person.
So basically, he has the same semblance as Yang, but due to his years of mastering it, he can take in a lot more than her, but it doesn't make him overly powerful as Yang.
I
It
can
would,
still take a hit and get broken.
oh yeah,
She can take a hit. She can tank a hit and get up. I can't take a hit and get back up.
oh yeah. So Fang is not the kind of guy that tries to get hit. And this was a little cute concept design that we made for Fang and Sienna.
And this is when we said they were in their I think their early 20s, because
Nope.
that's Fang before. How old did we say they were?
So here, this one right here was actually made for a piece from the volume 3 when Sienna came to see him after she had heard of what recently happened with the White Fang attack during the end of
Uh,
volume 2. Sienna came to see him because she wanted to help him get away from all of it. Now, I won't go into more detail on that because I don't want to spoil it.
but
Eh,
how old did we say they were? Because I think we said Fang was in his like mid 40s, didn't we?
yeah, I still need to fix some of the time differences with the characters because yes, Fang is technically the oldest member, but I can't say that Sienna Khan was in her 40s when she died. You would think that she was probably still in her maybe early 30s or late 30s. Not that
Yeah.
far off, but
Yeah, we did say that yeah, we did say Fang was a little bit older than her.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they did grow close together to give Sienna a better send off because the way she went out, it was very sad.
It sucked.
And so forth, the that is the Team SAFF and some
Yeah.
background to the characters.
Yep. This
Now,
is the first draft of the cover photo of Team SAFF.
no, this was the first. The other one is
Oh
just
yeah,
a
that.
silhouetted version that some I had someone make from Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Here's
And
here's
then
the first poster that was made by Ghost. See, it shows the original symbol designs of the characters before they got revised and changed. And now we are. This was made because when I was working on the story, I wanted to have a moment where the characters just stood together and took a picture together. But realizing what part of the story this would happen, Fang here, he wouldn't be probably smiling like this. My character wouldn't
yeah,
Mike Ivan wouldn't look like he's gone through anorexic shit going on here because you could see his those things on his cheeks and like what the hell happened here?
so I think this part, like if we're being honest in the story, this is when the vinyl festival would just be going like everyone getting to know each other during the vinyl festival. Like Fang would not be smiling. He'd probably be there because of if you read the book. I'm not gonna
His,
go too much in
his
it.
arm would
You'll
still be in a sling.
Yeah, his arm would be in a sling by now.
Yeah, one of his arms is in a sling.
Yeah.
And
Then.
then here's the finalized cover photo of the story itself. Now, the reason why I had this stream made, well, not stream, but this recording, is because once again, I was approached by someone to create a comic for the first three chapters that are on Wattpad, but also I've been adapting it to the fanfiction.net site.
Mm,
So, yes, the story is free to read. I'm not charging people to read it. I am still revising some of it because some of the grammar mistakes I need to fix and might add some more detailed, uh, just more detail to certain scenes, like more emotional, more character development, but also better choreographed fight scenes for the characters.
yeah.
And so I
There you
have
have it.
I have started the comic funding. Now I am thinking of I am going to try to figure out how to start a Patreon to see if anyone that is a fan of the Ruby series and would like to see the story turn into a comic, it would really help if I could get some help because otherwise I'm basically taking a bit of a portion of my paycheck each week just to have the first three parts made. I'm not very sure on what it really costs to make comics, but I'm pretty sure it's probably higher than what I was asked of for this person. Now, to I can't memorize the exact details of how many pages, how many panels are made for this whole project, but each so actually I found the file on my phone here. So Ivan Sachs, his whole piece will have 10 pages with four panels each. Sky Altair, his will have his will have 10 pages and four panels as well. Blue, okay, that one has to be longer because her story is longer. Really? Okay, so Blue has only 10 so it's 30 pages with four panels each to describe the events of the first three chapters that are part of the story and the first three chapters that are a part of the audiobook series that I have been uploading to YouTube. So if anyone is interested in helping me out, I would appreciate it. But also, I would like to give a shout out to the the Switchback channel that also started their own Ruby project a couple years ago, and I have actually enjoyed seeing the work that they did put into the project, but it's just I'm not going to be mean about this. No, I understand that this stuff takes time, resources, but also commitment and how
Mm-hmm.
I would like to hopefully see if I can get this started. I'm not trying to make a TV show. I'm basically just trying to have a comic made for the story that I put a lot of work into, and I would really just like to see this happen. But again, it is completely your choice. But I would appreciate, once again, I would appreciate the support. Thank you.
Support the creators.